A pair of children's winter boots stood behind glass. Dark leather. Thick soles. Fur lining. A small handwritten sign hung beneath them. Available soon. Snow had already covered the street. Inside the shop, shelves were sparse. One display pair. No boxes underneath. The boots existed. They simply were not reachable. In many Soviet cities during the 1960s and 70s, shoes were not bought spontaneously. They were anticipated. Production was centralized. Distribution was allocated. Retail operated on arrival schedules, not daily demand. Customers did not enter and choose. They registered. Name. Size. Season. When shipments arrived, clerks consulted handwritten ledgers. If the size matched the list, a name was called. If not, the boot remained in the window. The display did not signal abundance. It signaled sequence. People learned to read windows the way others read calendars. They did not ask when something would arrive. They asked whether it had already been assigned. Snow continued to fall. The child continued to grow. The size written months earlier did not adjust. The glass remained still. And still the sign said, "Available soon." Footwear factories operated under output quotas. Targets were numerical. Pairs completed. Material consumed. Hours fulfilled. Adjustment was secondary. If one size moved faster through production lines, it accumulated. If winter boots required additional materials, lighter shoes met targets more efficiently. Planning prioritized fulfillment over alignment. Factories were evaluated on completion, not correspondence. A warehouse full of identical sizes counted as success. A shop window full of unmet demand did not alter the report. The factory could report completion. The store could report shortage. The information did not travel in real time. Requests moved through ministries. Approvals required cycles. Cycles required reporting periods. Between production and purchase stood paperwork. Between paperwork and delivery stood scheduling. The system did not react. It processed. Language reflected this structure. Items were not missing. They were pending. They were allocated. They were scheduled. Delay was described in neutral terms. Meanwhile, the window display did not change. In another part of the city, identical sizes accumulated. Mismatch was not error. It was consequence. And consequence did not produce urgency. Over time, delay became measurable. Not in days. In visits. Families returned weekly. They did not ask if the boots existed. They asked if their name had moved. Clerks turned pages. The ledger remained orderly. Waiting acquired rhythm. Tuesday deliveries. Thursday inquiries. Saturday exchanges. Children learned to accompany parents not to choose, but to check. The act of buying divided into stages. See. Register. Return. Wait. Return again. Time expanded quietly between each step. Inside the structure, nothing was considered late. Only pending. And pending had no fixed duration. If a winter passed without delivery, the request simply rolled forward. Another season. Another cycle. Another notation in ink. The boots did not become more expensive. They became delayed. And delay required adaptation. Parallel adjustments emerged. Exchanges through acquaintances. Reservations for familiar customers. Informal swaps between neighbors. Not rebellion. Compensation. The system generated its own secondary layer. From the outside, the footwear system functioned. Factories produced. Stores opened. Shoes existed. Nothing appeared collapsed. The gap was temporal. A purchase did not compress time. It stretched it. See boots. Register name. Wait. Return. Wait again. Winter passed. Another winter arrived. The sign in the window was eventually replaced. Available soon. Then another model appeared behind glass. The sequence continued. The phrase did not promise immediacy. It promised eventuality. Buying shoes did not require wealth. It required position within schedule. And when delay becomes ordinary, it no longer feels like malfunction. It feels like structure. Children who once waited grew into adults who registered. The ritual repeated without announcement. The boots were real. The leather was real. The snow was real. What lengthened was the path between them. And that distance, repeated across clothing, appliances, housing materials, and food, shaped daily life more quietly than any official declaration. The boots behind the glass were not rare. They were simply ahead of you.